Hi, my name is Robin Blair. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and certified emotionally focused therapist. And I want to tell you about the 2-day couples relationship workshop that I have coming up. In this workshop, it's kind of set up like a classroom style, and you'll be sitting at tables just looking up at me, and we're going to go through 8 different topics. And each topic, I'm going to lecture a little bit, and then you're going to take separate time, about 30 minutes with your partner, to just work on the exercise that we just went over in the lecture. And there's 8 different things that I want to tell you that we're going to talk about. The first one is attachment theory and bonding, and the reason why, the science behind why people fall in love and bond and partner in a marriage. And the idea that we have attachment between a parent and child, what Sue Johnson was able to find out is that actually doesn't change. We have that same innate desire to be closely connected to another human being our whole entire life, from the cradle to the grave is what she says. So we go over that and how our brain actually codes our partner as part of our survival system. And in the second topic that we're going to go over, it's when that survival system feels like it's under threat. And when we feel threatened, we're going to react in a pretty big way that can look kind of crazy to our partner. And we'll go over this cycle of, how we, what our survival strategies are to handle this threat. Where some people have a strategy of going away, or some people have a strategy of fighting. So we have the fight, flight, or freeze survival strategies, and we talk about how that's going to show up in a relationship if one partner goes away when they feel under threat and their anxiety comes up, and another person goes towards when they feel under threat and their anxiety comes up. How the more one person goes towards to reduce that anxiety and get more security and reassurance around the relationship not being under threat, that it's actually going to bring up the other person's anxiety and feel like the relationship's under threat because they're not doing enough or not good enough, and they're going to cope with that anxiety and that threat by going away. And the more that person goes away, the more the other person is going to have to go towards to try and reduce the anxiety. And how that might show up in different things, from finances to children to household chores to even bigger things, how much time you spend together. The third thing we're going to go over is how we showed up to the relationship with these survival strategies and where they came from our childhood. So it could be, a critical parent, and we felt like we had to hide ourselves from this critical parent, or a shaming parent, and or how we feel like we had to convince a person, like if we ever were abandoned or isolated in our childhood, and how we feel like we have to convince these people to stay with us, not to leave us, to continue to love us. And so the third one that we go over is just how we showed up to the relationship with some of our emotional insecurities from our childhood or even past relationships. The fourth thing we're going to go over is when we're stuck in one of these cycles, how to get back out of it, or how to prevent it, or how to repair it once it's already happened. The next thing we're going to go over is how to have more emotional, deeper, intimate conversations, a more emotional connection, where you can actually hear what the other person is saying from their heart instead of just the words that they're saying, where they can actually speak from their heart and you just give them the space to listen, stay emotionally present, emotionally engaged, be able to respond to what they're feeling and saying from your heart instead of having an opinion or a judgment about what they're saying, and then being able to do that for you. So the next thing that we're going to go over is going to be some bigger attachment injuries, if there's ever been affairs or times during a medical crisis or a major job transition or a major move where you felt like you really, really needed your partner and they weren't there for you. And we're going to go over how to repair that. Next, we get to talk about sex and touch and bonding and why that's such a huge part of the relationship. It's one of the major emotional bonding things that couples do, that it's just intimately between just you and that person and nobody else. So it's very unique and special to the relationship. So we get to go over all of that. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how to take everything that you've learned, apply it to the relationship, and even just day-to-day kind of things. How to detour these major fights. And now that you have all the information that you have, understanding your partner better, understanding yourself better, how to be able to apply that to the relationship. So if you would like to sign up, give me a call or go on my website. You can click right on the workshop tab and get signed up, and I hope to see you there.